Good morning everybody, welcome back to another vlog. For those of you that are new here, hi, my name is Emily and I run a small business called Emily Hunter Art. I currently sell on Etsy, so you can check out my products in the description box below. It looks like we've had a return to the nice summery weather, so it is quite a nice day today, but there is some things that we need to get done inside. So I've just packaged up a stack of orders, so at some point I need to post those. But mostly what I want to do today is make a start on designing the Huntrix, like bookmarks and stickers and things that I want to make. Or not necessarily Huntrix, but K-pop Demon Hunters things. So my plan is to have a set of bookmarks that has the three main girls, and then probably a Genu as well, because I don't think I'm going to do all of the Saja boys. I think I mentioned this in an earlier vlog. I just think it would be a lot of time and maybe not a lot of like payout for that, because they don't really get a lot of screen time. It's mostly Genu. I might do one for the Tiger and the Crow. That could be something I do, but I'm going to start by focusing on the three girls, since they're the main sort of event of the whole movie. So I'm going to design some bookmarks for them, and I want to draw up some little like chibi characters that could possibly work as stickers or keyrings. So I'm going to be doing that, and I think I want to do this in my sketchbook. So I don't get my sketchbook out very often and it gets neglected, but I want to do some little designs and sketches in there. I still haven't decided if I want to sell the Huntrix artwork that I made last week as a print or anything, or if it should just be like a bit of a practice artwork for figuring out the style and everything I'm going for. I'm not 100% like happy with it, you know, like I know it's not perfect and there are parts of it that are a little bit iffy, so I think that's maybe why I'm not sold on selling it, but it could just be used on my social media to like say, hey look, I'm working on some K-pop Demon Hunters stuff. Maybe there's just some little areas with it where I maybe didn't render it that well, kind of rushed it I guess towards the end. There is a glaring issue, I don't know whether to point it out. I didn't notice it until like quite close to the end, when it was too late to change without, you know, spending another like week on it. But yeah, I don't know whether I should actually point out what that issue is, but it is to do with Zoe and her general sort of pose and anatomy that is a little bit off. I don't know whether like you would notice it unless you were looking for it, but yeah, I maybe don't want to sell this one as a print. I want to try a little harder to when I'm making my merchandise and everything. I still want to make a print though, because I want to do one of Rumi and have it foiled where her patterns are. So that would be really cool to do. I'm probably not going to get around to designing that today because I've got like the bookmarks and the stickers / keyrings designs, but we will see where we go. I've also got to do some e-learning for my teaching job at some point today. I've been putting that off because it's kind of boring. It's important but boring. So at some point I do need to do that. It probably won't take as long as I think it will. It's one of those things where I'm putting it off because I know it's not that exciting. Yeah, I'm going to need to do it before they start calling me up and saying like, you haven't done this e-learning. We can't put you in schools if you haven't done it yet. So yeah, that's something I'm going to be doing, but I won't be vlogging about that because it's dull and it isn't to do with the business. So without further ado, I'm going to grab out my sketchbook and make a start on some designs.
아무 말 없이 떠나간 너는 시간 속에 사라진 그림자 같아 붙잡고 싶은 마음 하나로 오늘도 난 너를 불러본다. 잊으려 해도 지워지지 않아 너의 이름 그 숨결까지도. 한 번만 단 한 번만 돌아와 줄 수는 없니? 숨결 끝에서 너를 불렀어. 바람 속에 남은 너의 온기까지. 이별은 말 없이 날 스쳐가도 난 아직 그날에 머물러. 계절이 몇 번을 바뀌어도 너 없는 하루는 익숙하지 않아. 아무렇지 않은 척 웃다가 그리움이 눈을 적신다. 잊으려 해도 지워지지 않아 너의 눈빛 그 마지막 순간. 단 단 한 번 꿈에서라도 너와 줄 수 있다면. 숨결 끝에서 너를 불렀어. 기억 속에 남은 너의 목소리. 이 밤이 아무리 길다 해도 난 끝내 널 보내지 못해. 혹시나 아닌 누군가의 곁에서 웃고 있다 해도 괜찮아. 내 마음은 그저 널 사랑했던 기억이면 돼. Final. 숨결 끝에서 너를 불렀어. 한 번쯤은 내게 닿을 수 있을까? 눈 감는 그 순간 너를 안고서 조용히 널 놓아줄게.
Нам більше нема чого втрачати. Ми йдемо, мов тіні, мов примари. Кожен день, мов у пітьмі, кожен день, мов у пітьмі. Як удари на межі, як удари на межі. Цей шлях, немов як нескінчена битва, що лише тільки в мені. Наше життя – це мить від зорі до світанку. Без вагань, без меж, без вагань, без меж. І нехай все навколо руйнує дорогу. Ми йдемо тільки до своєї мети. Повертаючись із того світу знову назад, ми завжди знаємо ціну кожного слова. Забудь про біль, забудь про страх. Лунає за спиною, немов клич. Якщо зупинився все, пітьма і тебе нема. Так що продовжуй рух, це життя. Наше життя – це мить від зорі до світанку. Без вагань, без меж, без вагань, без меж. І нехай все навколо руйнує дорогу. Ми йдемо тільки до своєї то навіщо я всіх таємниць тобі знов не відкрию? Мій обов'язок вести тебе тільки вперед. Та хай усе твоє життя буде без меж. Так що давай, брате, іди тільки вперед. Обмеження тільки в голові. Усе, ти готовий? Вперед! Наше життя – це мить від зорі до світанку. Без вагань, без меж, без вагань, без меж. І нехай все навколо руйнує дорогу. Хай коріння незгоди заплутує нам ноги. Ми йдемо завжди вперед до своєї мети.
So as you just saw, I've been doing some sketching in my sketchbook of some little like thumbnail brainstorming ideas of the bookmarks and keyring stuff. I was going to go with like a full body kind of design for the bookmarks, but I wasn't really settling on a thing that I liked. And then I gave the portrait idea a go with Mira, and I think that looks quite good. Like, the thing with the bookmarks is they're a relatively small space, so if I do a full body image, a lot of detail is going to get missed, whereas if I do a more kind of bust, I would say, so like a bit more than a portrait design, then I can fit more detail in and make them look a little bit snazzier. So I also just did some very quick sketches for ideas of what their keyrings would look like. I'm probably going to revisit those, but I stopped because I'm going to take those designs to the computer and try and do some proper sketches on Photoshop and see what I can come up with there. I have also made the difficult decision, well, I didn't make the decision, it was kind of made for me, but I've had to stop shipping things to the US. So I was trying to look at a way to do this on Etsy, because in my shipping profiles I have the UK shipping and then I have the cost for everywhere else. There isn't a way, or at least I looked this up. Apparently if you're on like Canada or US Etsy you can do this, but for the UK you can't. There isn't a way for you to just eliminate certain countries from everywhere else. So you have to set up separate shipping profiles for each individual country and then just not do one for the US, which would take forever because you know how many countries there are in the world, right? I can't set up a shipping profile for every single one. And that's for like my different levels of products as well. So I have a shipping profile for anything that can fit in like an A5 envelope, anything for an A4, and then anything that's more like a package, like the notebooks that are going to be a bit heavier. So I have like 3 main shipping profiles. I wasn't going to like do 100 countries for each one. That was going to be a nightmare. So what I have done instead, there was an option to select countries in the EU and countries in the rest of Europe. So at the moment, I am just the UK and Europe. I have heard that this tariff situation, or at least the rise in the tariffs, it's meant to just be for 6 months, if I remember that correctly. So it isn't supposed to be forever, and I'm just praying that with all the inconveniences, they realise what they've done and have to lift it earlier or something. But yeah, another thing was Etsy did say that they weren't selling any more postage labels from today. I might have just reached the deadline for it because it could be US time that they're going off, because I was able to buy some US postage labels this morning. I did have a couple of sales that came through before I was able to stop sales to the US, and Etsy did actually let me buy them. So I'm just hoping that they get through okay. If it turns out to be a huge issue, then I guess they can just get sent back to me or something, I think. But yeah, I looked into the delivered duty paid option, but that looks like I would have to pay all of the duties and taxes, and they can come out to be really expensive. So I would obviously charge that back to the customer. But for example, if someone is buying a bookmark for £3, they are not then going to want to pay like an additional £50 for duties and taxes. It's just insane. They're not going to do that. So I don't think that's a real viable option for me at the moment. I think that's more for like larger businesses. But yeah, if you are in the USA, I'm really sorry. I am going to miss you while this whole thing is going on. Because I think I had a look and I actually found the breakdown of where all of my sales tend to be with. So it was let's see, where is it? Yeah, so 55% of my sales go to the UK. 27% is the United States, and then 18% for just everywhere else. So 27% is a large proportion, really, when you think like the majority is obviously UK, which is where I am based, but then the second after that is the USA. Like, oh, I'm worried that it's gonna affect my earnings and everything. What can you do? At least I'm heading back to work next week. So in a couple of weeks, I'll be getting paid those wages. So even if my Etsy earnings are affected massively, it's come at, I mean, there's never been a good time for this to come, but it's come at an okayish time if I'm about to go back to work. Yeah, I'm a bit pissed off about it, to be honest. But yeah, bottom line is I'm just shipping to the UK and Europe. So again, I'm really sorry if you're in a country that isn't in Europe, that doesn't have the issue with these duties and taxes. It's just because it was going to be too much of a headache setting up all of the individual countries. Because I think I've sent things to like Asia and South America before as well, and it would be so much easier if they were grouped into continents as well, like how Europe is. But I would have had to have done each individual country, and it would have taken forever. So I'm hoping this whole thing is temporary, and I'll be able to just reinstate all of those countries once this thing with the US blows over. Might be wishful thinking to think it's going to blow over, but you know, we're just going to keep an eye on it, okay? Yeah. Hi, so it is 16:38 now, so about 20 to 5. So I'm going to be needing to clock off from the business stuff soon, because I did say I was going to do that online training that I need to get done. So I am going to start that in a sec, but I'm just going to show you where I am at with the first bookmark design. So this is what we've got so far for Rumi. I've just done like some flat colours and some basic lines, and I guess I just need to figure out how I want to render her. I'm probably going to do a similar kind of method as I did for the main Huntrix piece. But yeah, this is where we are at so far. Good morning, guys. So it is now Wednesday. I didn't film that much yesterday because I didn't actually do a lot of artwork. I was out for quite a bit of the day. So my mum and I had a test drive booked in at the car dealership on a Mocha. When we got there, that particular Mocha had actually sold, but there was a one that was a year younger, exact same model with the same spec, just a little bit more expensive. So we took that one out for a spin, and then we decided to get it. So I have a new car. Not new, like it's a used car, but it's much newer than the one that I'm driving at the moment. So I'm driving a Mocha right now, but a different sort of model. Don't ask me any of the details because I'm not like a car person, okay? It looks good and it does all the same things that my current one does. That's all I really care about. So yeah, I've had my current Mocha for 10 years because we've had that since new. So it's gonna be quite sad saying goodbye to it. I know it sounds daft getting sentimental over a car, but it's been with me through so many big changes through life and everything. So yeah, that'll be pretty sad. So whenever I'm driving it this week, I'm going to be thinking about, like, you know, all of our good times. Yeah, so we pick up my new car on Friday afternoon. So that's quite exciting. It is black with a red trim, so it looks kind of sporty. But yeah, so like fairly exciting. And my mum is an absolute saint. She's actually just paid for it so that I don't have to get the finance with the interest and everything. So we're just going to work out something where I can pay her back instead, and that makes things so much easier. But yeah, so yeah, new car. It's gonna be quite exciting. So this one it's just 3 years old. Although it's a 22 plate, but it was registered January 2023. So I guess it was just like, maybe it was manufactured and it wasn't registered until then. I don't know. I always thought the plates came from the date of registration. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, it's a 22 plate, so it's 3 years old. And yeah. I'm not really a car person, as I've just said, so I don't really know what else to say about it. It's just new car, big changes coming, so I'll have it for my new, well, not my new job, but like my new supply role starting on Monday. I think I'm going to be through in Darlington next week, so that's a bit of a longer drive for me. So we will really get to test out our new car and see what it's like. Yeah, so like after everything was done at the dealership garage, we decided to like go for a coffee and everything. And then by the time I got home, it was like the afternoon, mid-afternoon. So I did actually do a bit of artwork. I made some progress on those bookmark designs. So I think previously when I showed you it, I had just done Rumi, but I've done sketches for the 3 other designs that I want to do. So I'm going to show you those now. Okay, so I've put them all on one document so that I can like see how they look together and check that the designs are cohesive and everything. Also just because it's a little easy, so I can do all the line art in one go, all of the flats in one go and everything, and then that'll make sure that they're all, like I say, cohesive and in the same style. But yeah, so we've got Zoe, Rumi, Mira and Jinu. Now, the thing with Jinu, because I've got him in his Demon Reaper outfit, where he would normally have a big hat. But I've done this design where their names are behind them, because I'm planning on getting the names foiled. These are going to be some fancy foiled bookmarks. And if I had his hat, it would just cover everything. And I like the look of the name being behind the character. Because obviously it looks like it's in front on the sketches because I don't have the colours in there. But I like the look of it being behind. So it doesn't feel like it's like blocking the character. So with Gino, I've just kind of left his hat off and I hope that looks okay. I was quite impressed with his hand. I just free-handed that in. I was struggling for a while because I did just have him like stood, and then I thought this looks a bit boring, you know, like maybe I'll incorporate a hand like I have with Mira and Rumi. Don't know whether Zoe should have a bit more going on actually, because now she looks sort of boring. Like maybe I should put a hand up to her chin, but then is that too similar to what Mira's doing? Oh, I don't know. I might do that though. I might put like a little hand up beside her face. Yeah, I've coloured the backgrounds because I have ordered some fancy tassels to go on the bottom. I normally do the ribbons on the top, but I'm going to do them on the bottom since the top is going to have the foiling. Now with the Baldur's Gate bookmarks, I just did the design and everything and then saw how the colours turned out and then picked a ribbon based on that, because I was just using generic like 3mm ribbon. I knew I could get whatever colour I wanted off Amazon if I looked hard enough. So I didn't have to worry too much about what the colours of the actual bookmarks were. But with these, I found these fancy tassels that kind of have like a Chinese knot on them, which I know it's Korean and not Chinese, but it has the same sort of vibe as their little good luck charms that they have attached to their outfits. But I couldn't find like every colour. So there was like limited colours for that. So I picked the ones that I thought would best suit the colours of the characters and like the bookmarks. So if I went for like a blue for Zoe and a like a deep red for Mira, because then that kind of matches her hair, and then Ginu can be purple, Rumi can be lilac. And then I coloured the backgrounds to remind myself what colours those tassels are going to be, so that I don't create any clashing colours when I'm rendering it. So it's just to remind myself, really. Like, it'll probably just be like a background colour, but it's just so that I don't, for example, make Ginu green and then he comes and I've picked a purple tassel and it doesn't look quite right. That's the only reason. But yeah, I think the sketches turned out pretty good. So my next step is to do the lines, like the neater lines. Now with Rumi, I did some kind of neater lines, but they're not what I would want the final actual lines to be. These are more what I would use for if I was doing a painterly rendered thing, which I still haven't decided if I'm going to do that. So I don't know whether to redo those lines, because I don't know if they should be more comic-y. So that might work better with like the graphic thing with the name and everything. Oh, I don't know. There's so much to think about, guys. But yeah, I do have a meeting that I need to be at for 11. So I'm not going to be doing too much work on this morning, because I'm going to have to leave for that in just under an hour. Ooh, computer's going off. But I will focus on this more kind of in the afternoon when I'm back from that. So we'll figure things out then. I am such an idiot. I've been wondering for a little while. I always think that my subscription payment for my Adobe Creative Cloud, I always feel like it comes around really quickly. I was wondering, like, am I paying more than once a month? And I actually looked into it, and turns out I'm paying for 2 subscriptions all this time. And I think I know what happened is because I normally have a subscription through, like, I get a better deal because it's like a teaching subscription. So I get everything for cheaper than the regular Creative Cloud thing. And I think there was an update that happened quite a few months ago. And it must have signed me out, and I think I forgot what email address I was signed in to. So when I went to sign back in and it said I didn't have the account, I wondered whether it had just cancelled the teaching thing, because technically I should be signed up with a teaching email address, but because I am a supply teacher, I do not get access to those. So I wondered whether they'd looked into it and figured out, like, oh, she isn't a proper teacher or something. So I just signed up and like paid the full price. But it turns out, yeah, I'm a complete idiot. It's because that was signed up with another email address and I just needed to sign in with that one and it would have been fine. So I've been paying for the full price one alongside my discounted one this whole time. And I've just gone on to try and cancel it. Apparently I will be charged a cancellation fee of £227 if I do that, which yeah, I don't really want to do. It says, like, because I've committed to an annual subscription or something, but I didn't think I had because I pay monthly. So I don't know when it is okay for me to cancel. But that's really annoying. Like, oh God, all that money I've just been throwing away. Oh my God. Think of what I could have put that towards instead of paying for Photoshop twice. Oh my God. Why am I like this? I actually think I do need to have a big look at my finances and go through and cancel some subscriptions, because there's things like, for example, Paramount Plus. I got that solely to watch Ink Master, and there hasn't been another season for a long time. So I think I can just cancel that instead of paying every month. And I've got to be honest, I think I'm going to cancel Spotify Premium because I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, oh my God, I'm so annoyed at myself for that. Oh, what am I going to do? I would like to know when it is okay for me to cancel, because it obviously, you know, doesn't want me to yet. But I don't want to keep paying. I mean, it's like £57 a month. £57 a month for I don't know how many months. I can't remember when I signed up. It isn't. I'm fairly certain it was this year that it happened, that I had to sign up. It's got here that I've got 2 plans. Am I actually paying like... What the hell is this? This is like just a Photoshop only one. See, initially I did get one just to pay for Photoshop, and whatever else it comes with in that particular bundle. But now that I'm looking, like, I thought I had upgraded to the big one when I realised I was going to want all of the other apps, but it looks like it's just added it on top. So I have oh my God, I'm paying for 3 Photoshops, guys. You know, I've been wondering how I've been hemorrhaging money so easily, and well, there it is. There's like £80 a month extra. Oh my God, can I cancel this one early? Why am I like this? Okay, so I'm looking at the billing history and it looks like I've only been paying for this big plan since May. And it also looks like I was obviously given a discount for the first 3 months. So it was only like, it was like £28 for 3 months. And then it's just August where it's been 57. So it's not as bad as I thought, but it's still pretty freaking bad. So I don't know if because it looks like I've committed annually. So I don't know whether that means I have to pay until May 2026, in which case the cancellation fee, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a lot cheaper. So I might just have to cough up the cancellation fee, because that will save me more money in the long run. It's just an absolute pain in the arse. Right, this is like the last big payment for a while, and then I'm back at work on Monday. I can start earning wages again in a couple of weeks, and we are going to scrimp and save like crazy because we have a wedding and a car to pay for. So we cannot be affording to throw money away on Adobe subscriptions that aren't actually getting used. Please tell me I'm not the only one that's done something stupid like this. This is probably like the dumbest thing I've ever done, money-wise. Hi, okay, so I've just had a delivery and it is the Minthara and Laser Zell stuff. So my only concern, I'm looking at the journals right now. I don't know whether they've maybe printed a lot darker than I intended. So do you know, I mean, it is a dark room. I'm gonna raise the blinds a little bit, might make it easier. Yeah, so obviously Minthara herself is quite a dark print anyway. Like there's a lot of dark blues and purples. I'm not sure whether it's a little too much. Here she is. So what I'm thinking is to sell these as normal. But when it comes time to reordering, I may need to get some lighter ones. Or I might even just need to get lighter ones in general, because if people don't want her looking so dark, then I'm not actually going to sell them. So that one is there. So she's very intense. She has dot pages. I gave her a black elastic and ribbon. She's got ribbon in there as well. Lazel isn't as bad, but so you can see like this side of her where all the shadows are very, very intense. So I don't know if that's too much or if it works. Yeah, it's unusual that both of them have come out so dark. So I'm actually wondering whether it was like the way they were printed this time around, whether there was a slight difference as opposed to my files being dark. But yeah, I mean, they're very saturated. So look like the colours are really coming out nicely. And she's got green with the filigree. The greens turned out very dark. So it's almost a little difficult to see the pattern in the background. Ooh, this is the first time that journals have come and I've not kind of felt 100% about them. They're like, a bit unsure. I'm going to check the prints on the key rings. Hopefully they're not too dark and hard to read. Okay, moment of truth for the key rings. So this is a Minthara I'm looking at first. Oh no, you know what? That's perfect. That's fine. You can see. Oh, it's like reflecting everything. Oh, you can see the colours and everything a lot more clearly. But like, yeah, if I compare that to the journal. Oh. Yeah, it's almost as if the journals don't have the same range of colour. Like they're not capable of printing the same range. But I mean, even on the key rings, I don't know if you can be able to see because of all the reflections, but there is even, you can't see, it's reflecting too much, but there is like a gradient in the background and you can actually see a difference between the super dark, like almost black, to a dark purple. Whereas on the journal, it all just looks black here. But yeah, those are much clearer. So at least the key rings, for Minthara at least, are excellent. If the Minthara ones are all right, then I'm assuming the Lizelle ones are good too. But we will have to check. So, yeah, that's all right. So that's something as well with Lizelle. Once again, it's not really picking it up on camera. I promise you that in person you can see all of these details. But the side of her face that is in shadow, on the journal, they... yeah, my computer screen's gone off now. You might be able to see a bit better. So you can actually still see some of the details on that side of her face that's in shadow. Whereas on the journal, although it's not so bad on the journal, actually, I was maybe being a little harsh. You can actually still see. Yeah. So it could have just been the lighting in the room when I first looked at Lizelle. She's not so bad. But once again, the colours are very, very saturated. Yeah, so she is okay. I'm slightly concerned for Minthara to see whether she's too dark. But there she is with her keyring. I mean, I think it's still a pretty cool looking journal when you look at it like that. Like, it stands out. Yeah, I'll have to just see, and then maybe see if I can lighten them up a bit for next time. It's very intense. I feel like the purples are more on the magenta side on the journal, whereas they're a little bit more in the bluey tones. Ooh, on the keyring. Focus. That's still a little blurry, but yeah. Oh, it's a shame that I'm not like 100% on them. But I'm still going to put them out there and see how they do. If I find that they really aren't doing that well, then I might order a reprint and discount these, like sell at a discounted price, just to say that like the colours were a little too dark or whatever, and you know. Oh, it's been a day of sad news, really, hasn't it? I mean, this isn't the worst news. I'm still mad about myself for that whole Adobe fiasco with Photoshop. Paying for 3 subscriptions. The keyrings are perfect though, which is great, because now that means I've officially got what's the word? The entire party. Yeah, because I wasn't sure about the size for Minfara. She is actually technically half an inch bigger than the others. I don't actually think you can tell. But I did that because she has these little pointy bits that come out further at the top and bottom. And it means that her frame is a lot bigger, which means that her portrait is going to be smaller if I get her done at the same size as everybody else. So I got her half an inch bigger so that you can still see her clearly. But yeah, I think I really like it, honestly. The way the details have come out on the keyring. She might be my favourite keyring. I might have to start using her on my own. I'll show her off. Be like, ooh, a Minthara keyring. So there's that. I'm going to have to photograph them and create listings and everything for them tomorrow. I'm not doing that this afternoon because it's getting on a little bit and I want to take the dogs out. Worried for a moment that Oscar would perk up because of that, because sometimes he clicks into certain words. He's just down there at the moment, chilling away. Yeah, bless him. So yeah, he'd hurt his foot yesterday. Oh no, the day before even. After breakfast, I noticed he was kind of doing a bunny hop around the house. His back leg, he just wasn't putting any pressure on it at all. I checked it over. It didn't look like anything was stuck in there. There was no swelling or like signs of injury. When I was applying pressure, he wasn't showing any discomfort. But he is such a little soldier. Like with Lucy, if she hurts herself, she will scream and let you know about it and whinge the whole time. But with Ozzy, he just gets on and doesn't want to be a bother. Do you, darling? He is so sweet. Yeah, his leg seems all better now. Yeah, I was a little worried. Not worried enough to take him to the vet because I thought he's probably just like twisted it when he's been running around the way he does and everything. But if it had persisted, it would have been a vet visit. Yeah, so I am going to put these little things away and then I am probably going to take the doggies out. Is that right, Ozzy? You're beautiful, aren't you? You're so beautiful. And now Lucy's up. What is it, Lulu? Yeah, we're out at some friends tonight at their house. So I want to walk them and feed them before we go out. If we give them their dinner and their biscuits right before we go, then that should like settle them down because then they can just, you know, kind of nap while we're out. Do you want to come up and say hello? Do you want to come up and say hello? She's pawing at me. Oh, hey, baby. Hey, baby. I almost got a kiss there. What happened? You chickened out halfway. Look at her. Now Oscar wants to come up. Oh, I wish I had 8 arms. So I could just snuggle them all easily. Yes. Yeah, so. Oh. Yes. I don't know if I've really spoken much about the dogs. I show them a lot, but this is Lucy. She is 8 years old. 8 years old. I know. Sorry, I've like revealed your age on the internet. And then Oscar down there, he is 2 in October, so he's like 1.5, over 1.5. Go down to there you go. Yeah, so we got him just the Christmas before last was when we got him, and he joined our pack. You want to come up? Do you want to cuddle now? There we go. Yeah, I try not to fill too much of these vlogs up with puppy cuddle time, but who doesn't love puppy cuddles? Yeah, this is what what Lucy was getting. This is what you were pawing up at me for. He seems bored now, doesn't he? Like, oh, I'm here, now what? Yeah, those are some new keychains you're sniffing. Yeah, what do you know? I think he's bored. He wants to go down. Here you go. Oh, yeah. I feel like he probably suspects that I'm going to take them out soon as well. That's why he kind of like got up and started getting a little excited. Lucy is pretty much deaf. Like, she's mostly deaf. At least we hope she is, because if she isn't, then she's just badly behaved. Bless you, darling. Because that just means when we call her and she doesn't come, it's because she's choosing not to, not because she can't hear us. But yeah, I think she is deaf, because she doesn't always hear what's going on. She doesn't hear cars pulling up outside and stuff, whereas he's like really sharp and tuned into it. And so you've got to be careful what you say around him, really, because we've gotten used to using like the biscuit word, the walkies word, just quite freely. And then, of course, we've got a dog that isn't deaf that can actually hear us, and that usually gets them quite excited. So yeah, I am going to be taking them out. Sorry, I rambled for a little bit. Before I do, though, I could show you the progress that I have made on my Huntrix bookmark designs. So bear with. Okay, so I have redone Rumi's line art. And then I have done Zoe's line art. So I've gone for a slightly more comic-y, like kind of rough inky style for the lines. At the moment it looks pretty rough. It'll look a lot better once I've like rendered it with the colours and stuff, but that's where I'm at so far. And I'm gonna move on to Mira and Ginu when I have the time. What I'm probably gonna do, I quite like this effect where you like create a second line art layer. You make them both like a purpley brown colour. You set them to multiply, and then you blur one of them slightly. And that creates quite a cool effect. It's a little hard to explain, but I'll give it a go when I've gotten all the colours and everything in. And I feel like that's ready so that I can show you what I mean. But yes, that is them so far. I don't think I gave an update since adding in Zoe's hand, but like, yeah, I made the decision to give her hands. I think it just pulled the paws together a little bit better. And I shrunk Ginu's head because it was a little too big originally. So I've shrunk his head. I've repositioned the hand slightly so it's a little higher up. So he's like kind of almost grabbing at his throat a little bit. But yes, that is where we are at so far. Hey everyone, so now it's Friday. I feel a little guilty, like I haven't been filming very much this week. I've had a lot of other things on this week, like meetings and appointments and like all sorts of things. I feel like with it being the last week before I have to go back to the schools as well, there's a lot to sort out to make sure that I'm prepared. I still need to buy school shoes. So I hope this vlog isn't going to be too short. If not though, I'm thinking I could always film some more drawing footage and put that in there. So yesterday I did do the photography for the Lazel and the Minfara stuff that came in. So I edited those photos and I made the listings on Etsy. So if you're watching this vlog now, they are available now, like of time of recording. So obviously of time of uploading, you can go grab any of the Lazel and Minfara stuff. But that also means that all of my Baldur's Gate items are complete, like complete sets. So all of the keyrings, all of the bookmarks, all the journals, all the prints, all the stickers, the collection is complete. I'm wondering whether I should do some listings for bundles for specific characters. So like a Karlach bundle where you get like one of all of her stuff. I wonder if that'll be like a good way to like drive some sales, because obviously it would be at a slight discount, so it would be cheaper than buying all the items individually. So I might look into doing that. What I have also done is I have merged some listings. So the journals are now, at least the Baldur's Gate 3 journals are all on one listing. So all I did was I added everything to that Astarion journal listing, because he gets the most views and has the most favourites on him already. And what I worried about with merging the listings is that people who have got, say, a Karlach journal in their favourites, that would just disappear. So hopefully people would actually go looking and see that it's all on one listing now. So that's easier because it means I don't have to pay per listing. I just have it on the one. Did I merge anything else? No, I think everything else was already merged, wasn't it? Oh, the prints. I haven't merged the prints yet, but I'm thinking of doing that as well. I was also looking into having an offer where you could get like, say, 2 journals for 20 instead of 12 each. But I don't know how I'm going to do it where for people to actually select which one they want. I'm going to have a play about and see if Etsy actually has an option where you can select 2 for 20 and then it can give you 2 to select. Because part of me wondered at first I could just put a little comments box and people can tell me which one they want, but that isn't going to take into account stock levels. So if, for example, they want a Karlach and an Astarion and Astarion has sold out, I would have to, like, you know, refund them and everything, contact them and say, hey, like, you can't have an Astarion. Whereas if it's in a drop down, it would not let them select one that is sold out. So I'm going to have to see if Etsy can do that with like deals and stuff, because that would also be good to do for the prints, I think. Because with things like the stickers, because they're quite a small value item, and the bookmarks as well, I think it's easy enough to just do like a full set, so you can just buy all of them. I mean, I could do that with the journals as well, but I don't know many people that would want a full set, and because it would be like £80 or something for the full set of 8 journals. So I don't know. The prints as well would probably be quite expensive. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud now. I can't remember why I came on camera. I was just letting you know what I'd been up to. That was it. So yeah, I did those listings. I feel like there was something else I did. I was packaging orders because I got a couple of nice orders come in, which was a relief actually, because I worried after setting up that I can't ship to the US that my orders would just drop down. But I have to remember I do actually do quite a few orders to the UK and Europe. So I'm hoping that I can still stay afloat with that. The really frustrating thing about this tariff increase shenanigans is that I've heard that it's meant to go on for 6 months and then it's going to ease up or something. But 6 months will cover the Christmas period. And I did quite well last Christmas. I had a really good month and Oh, now I'm like worried that it's just going to ruin that because I can't make any US sales over Christmas. Because the journals in particular make really nice gifts. Oh. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see what I could do though. I could start offering commissions that I haven't done for quite a while. Because they can just be digitally sent, so you don't have to pay any tariffs on that. So I need to set up, like work out some prices and some styles, things that I can actually whack out quick enough that people aren't going to be waiting ages for. But yeah, I could do some commissions. It would also be nice, like with doing commissions, if I could offer an option where I send you the digital file, but then I also send you a print. That would be nice as well. But then obviously, like US customers wouldn't be able to get that. So what is going on today is I am gonna go back to that venue that me and Dan absolutely love with my mum today to show her around and kind of just let her see the vision of this magical fairy tale like place that we really love. We had a Zoom call with I don't know if she was a coordinator, but a consultant, wedding consultant from the venue, or from like the group of venues, technically. Like there's like a collection of venues all under the same business, so they all kind of run a similar way. But yeah, so we had a Zoom call with her to answer any questions, because one of the things we were a little bit concerned about is they have in their policy when you book that they want you to book a minimum of 12 rooms, which actual numbers wise, we don't have any worries about 12 rooms getting filled. We have enough guests that we know would want to stay over that we would fill more than 12 rooms. But we were worried because it sounded like we ourselves would have to book them and then get the money off friends and family for it. And I thought, like, oh, is that going to be a bit of a hassle? But no, it turns out all you have to do is promise them that 12 rooms will be filled. People will book their own. And it's just, if, like, for whatever reason, if we don't actually fill 12 rooms, then we would have to kind of like pay for the ones that weren't filled or whatever. But that's not an issue. We've got like plenty of people that are wanting to stay. So that's actually alleviated the only concern that I had really about the whole place. So that's really great. My mum was a bit more on board now, but I'm going to take her to see it. It's about an hour's drive. So she said she was going to pick me up a little before 10, and it's 9:30 now. So at some point soon we will be heading off to see that. And then we're pretty much thinking that it's gonna get booked, like, you know, so we can book it possibly today. And then obviously we have to speak to the registrars. We rang them yesterday to see what availability they had for the actual ceremony times and stuff. But once we actually book it, we'll like confirm with them. But it's very exciting. It's but yeah, so we are going to go through and see that. And then this afternoon at 3:00, I pick up my new car. So it's quite an exciting day for me. Lots of new things happening. I'm quite sad to say goodbye to my current mocha. I've cleared all of the stuff out of it yesterday and made sure I wasn't leaving anything behind. But oh, it's been such a good car, and I just want to make sure it goes to a good home. Obviously, I can't make sure that it goes to a good home, but I hope that it goes to a good home because it has served me well. It's been through a lot with me. I'm actually getting emotional. I'm getting a little bit misty-eyed. Oh, calm down, Emily. It's all the excitement of everything else. It's all the wedding fever and stuff. Yeah. But once we book that venue, we can start looking at all of the other bits and bobs and probably tearing our hair out over the things that need organising and booking and stuff. But it'll be so good to have a definite date and like a countdown to when it's going to happen. because then I can do save the date cards as well, or save the date magnets as I want to do. But yeah, that's just a little update I wanted to give you about this week. Hopefully when I get back from picking up my car, I'll be able to do some more work on the Huntrix bookmarks, because I would at least like to finish the line art for everybody. So I only have Mira and Ginu left to do for that. What I should probably do as well is maybe do an OBS recording of that, because then I have some actual footage to show of you doing those bookmarks, because I haven't recorded much of my process this week. I've just kind of shown you bits of like, oh, this is where I'm at. Oh, the next day, this is what I've done now. So it is nice to show you the little bits in between and how I actually get from A to B. So I'm going to try and record some of that, and then I've got more stuff to put in the vlog anyway. But yeah, I've talked quite a bit for this little segment, so I am going to leave you for a little while, and I will catch up with you guys again later on.
I used to love the silence, but now it feels too cold. Since you've been around, even quiet has its warmth.
너와 함께한 날들이 쌓일수록 혼자 있던 시간이 낯설어져. 창문 밖 바람도 같지만 이젠 그 안에 네 온도가 스며있어. 무심하게 웃던 네 말투 문득 생각나면 괜히 미소 지어. 예전엔 안무였는데 너로 인해 감각을 되찾은 듯해. You're my body temperature, keeping me steady, holding me near. I didn't know I was cold until you made me feel clear. Your voice, your breath, the way you say my name. It's not fire but it's warmer than anything I've ever known. 네 손끝이 스친 그 순간부터 내 하루의 온도가 달라졌어. 뜨겁지도 차갑지도 않은 딱 편안함이란 말이 어울리는 너. 나란히 걷는 거리 위 굳이 말 안 해도 닿는 공기. 사랑이란 감정이 이렇게 조용히 스며드는 줄 몰랐지. I don't need the sun when I'm wrapped in your touch. It's not dramatic but it's true. You're the warmth I never knew. You're my body temperature, keeping me steady, holding me near. I didn't know I was cold until you made me feel clear. Your voice, your breath, the way you say my name. It's not fire but it's warmer than anything I've ever known. You're first, you proud. Since you've been holding me, been quiet as burns warmth. You're my body temperature, keeping me steady, holding me near. I didn't know I was cold until you made me feel clear. Your voice, your breath, the way you say my name. It's not fire but it's warmer than anything I've ever known.
He came as quiet as a cat, just took a seat. He watched the reeds, and that was that. His silence wrapped me soft and sweet. Thanks for the gentle wings, thanks for the beacon bright, the falling apart boat, and thank you for that night. The waves splashed on the water's edge. I sat within an aging skiff. The hush had sunk onto the shoal. The wind sang what I longed to hear. Thanks for the gentle wings, thanks for the beacon bright, the falling apart boat, and thank you for that night. He didn't speak, but chose to stay. His eyes had something left to say. I felt a warmth I couldn't name, and all I knew was I would stay. Thanks for the gentle wings, thanks for the beacon bright, the falling apart boat, and thank you for that night. Thanks for the gentle wings, thanks for the beacon bright, the falling apart boat, and thank you for that night. World's flooding, hoping humans don't die out. But what I wanna know, did you mean what you said about out of here? Escape route in your bed, down south where it's not blue light of our phones, romanticizing doom. Baby, can we get away from this soon? Blurry silhouettes up ahead, seen each other through black lenses, secrets being shared when we met, dreaming human race still exists. Humans called it 10-year eclipse. Feel blank, tell me this, do you believe in us? Higher place up above, palm trees, but they're all gone. Looking for beauty in the collapse, give up things, have no option. Minutes on the clock, done, it's over. Let go of utopian mindset. Up, 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 up to a higher place. Up, up, moving up, I'm tethered now to the sky. Fake grass and olive trees, where we fly ain't cheap. Reminisce what's free, HD, about to go extinct. See my fair share of dinosaurs, don't see it anymore. Evergreen forests enclosed in 4 brick walls. Blurry silhouettes up ahead, seen each other through black lenses, secrets being shared when we met, dreaming human race still exists. Humans called it 10-year eclipse. Feel blank, tell me this, do you believe in us? Higher place up above, palm trees, but they're all gone.
Hi everyone, so it is now Saturday and I don't really know where the week has gone. It has blitzed by. There's been a lot of like appointments and things that I've had to take care of this week that haven't been art business related, so it feels like I haven't gotten that much done. But I have just finished the line art for the K-pop bookmarks, which you'll have just seen. So next week I need to start adding colour to them and shading and making them look really nice. It's gonna be a little tricky because I'm just gonna have the Friday again and my evenings because I am back at work on Monday. Back at work at schools, that is. So the summer holidays are over. They have like whooshed by this year. Don't know where they've gone. But anyway, a little bit of news. So yesterday, as you know, I was taking my mum to see that wedding venue that Dan and I both love. She loved it too. We got all of our questions like ironed out and everything. So we went ahead and booked it. So we now have a date for the wedding. So the countdown is on. We've got to start looking at all of our other vendors and things that we need, like photographers and flowers and all of that stuff. So kind of crazy. It's going to be a hectic year and a half until the wedding. I also picked up my new car, said goodbye to the old one. Still a little emotional about that. But I love the new one. It's great. I took Dan out in it yesterday and we went out for dinner. So yeah, I've got the new car all ready for me starting work on Monday. I'm honestly not ready to go back. I've really enjoyed this summer of just working on the business and everything. But yeah, it's come around. It'll be nice to have like a regular wage coming in as well and not relying solely on sales from the Etsy to keep me afloat. So at least there's that. But yeah, I want to still pour a lot of time into the business, you know, when I get home on the evenings and things, because I want to get these bookmarks ready and do like a nice announcement thingy with them, because I think my little tassels to go on them should be arriving next week as well. So it would be good if I could get everything together and get them all put on the shop and everything. So my plan, I'm probably going to get this vlog edited tomorrow morning and try and post it by the afternoon. So it will be a little bit later. Sorry, I'm not as organised this week. Like I've said, there's been a lot going on. But without further ado, I think I will just close out, say goodbye. Thank you again for watching and for joining me this week. And I will see you again next time. Bye. Hi, honey.